Another week, another batch of deals, 1500 games on sale right now on the eShop. So today I'm here with 15 games for you all, and these are coming in under $10 or your local currency, covering the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia. Now if you do watch weekly, you will know I've been ill. I'm starting to feel quite a bit better over here, so thank you for all of the kind words in the comments. Now as always then, I do have a winner to announce for a $10 eShop gift card, and I also have a one more to give away to enter. Drop a comment down below and that winner will be announced in next week's video. I also do have a few to catch up with, the ones I missed while I was down and out, so I'll be doing that over the next few days. If you do enjoy the video as well, we are making our way to 60,000 subscribers, so if you could throw us a subscription, each one of you helps us a huge amount. We've had a massive month already in August with new subscribers, so thank you to everyone who already has. We're starting with Unsouled then. I'm really liking today's games a lot, and this one, it's here matching the low with 72% off, and I'm a big fan of this often overlooked gem. Now this, it's an action RPG and it's not going to take it easy on you, but if you want something with a little complexity in its controls, this is a good choice with strategic combat that asks you to counter and leverage combos that will not only then be used in combat but within the environment as well. They will allow you to progress. On top of this then, expect adjustable stats and souls, and these things, they add passive and active abilities. In the story then, we are seeking revenge after our kingdom's fallen, and just be warned with this game, the first completion, it's probably only going to take you maybe 2.5-3 hours, but it's designed to be replayed so you can uncover more about this world. Mighty Goose matches the low with 50% off, and running gun fans is an incredible tribute to the genre. In the story, we're fighting back against the Void King who is looking to take over the galaxy. Your role in this, your mission, stop him once and for all. What this leads to is basically you travelling from planet to planet, taking out tons of enemies with a fun selection of weapons and a chip upgrade system. It also packs some destructive vehicles as well, and this was a surprise hit for me. I do hope we see more of the world in the future, as it's got a ton of potential for further expansion. The Takedown is a fantastic Streets of Rage tribute, and I'm one of the few reviews live here on YouTube, so do find that in the pinned comments. Now it's currently 85% off and matching the low price, and this one, it unfortunately launched right around the same time as Rage 4, and it has been living in its shadow. What I think though is, it does more than enough to stand alongside its idols. Now in the story, we're out to save a kidnapped daughter, and it's the usual side-scrolling brawler action, but I enjoyed the movesets. I think it looks visually great, and there's even a few unique vehicle-based stages. It is well worth your time in my opinion if you are a genre fan. The Last Campfire is 80% off and matching the low price. Find my review for this one below, and it comes from the same team as No Man's Sky, but this, where they went epic with that one, it's just a small scale indie development, but it packs a ton of charm. Now here you play as a lost ember trying to make your way home, and what follows is an adventure game with some basic environmental puzzles and this incredibly unique cast of characters. I was impressed with this one. It's a nice calm experience, it looks and sounds stunning as well, and my only real complaint is it has this unlocked frame rate, which you will absolutely notice, and they should have just locked this out. It's absolutely not necessary. Furi Modore Edition is a boss rush game that combines sword fighting and gunplay to create a fast-paced and intense experience. Now you play as a prisoner seeking freedom from a strange location, and to achieve this we must defeat these different guardians that stand in our way. This one, it's all about one-on-one battles that dial up the challenge, and they even incorporate bullet hell moments. This is a game that will demand practice and patience if you play on normal difficulty. Now if you are concerned about that, you can turn on invincibility, which was included with a patch after launch, and this was great to see because the more that play this, the better in my opinion. This edition then, it throws in the recently released DLC, and that adds a new character and fighting style. Check out my review of the base game and the DLC in the pinned comments, and right now it's 60% off, matching the low price. Godstrike could then be a good option for those who have already overcome Furi, as it was clearly an influence on it, and right now this one, it's 67% off, so same thing, boss rush gameplay, but I do want to be transparent. This one has some bad reviews, so do check them out first, but I personally really enjoyed it and question if it was the difficulty which led to frustration, which led then to the downvotes. The game is, as I said, just brutal if you didn't gauge that already, and it's the same idea really. We're taking on boss encounters. Admittedly, they can be a little cheap at times and unfair, but I enjoyed it, and the art style is really unique with this one as well. Go watch some coverage, see if it's going to be for you, but I do consider it a good alternative. Islanders gets 50% off, then a new low price. This was released during a Nintendo Direct, and I am a fan. Not the longest games, hence the low price point, but I loved the minimalist style, and I do enjoy strategy games as well. Now, the idea here is simple: build your own cities up, and it's really going to present you with a set of procedurally generated islands that you can go ahead and work on. You're going to see everything from more primitive setups to the modern age, and yeah, unique game that's a perfect fit for the Switch, especially if you're playing in handhelds. A little golf journey, then another quick mention, find my review below. It's a new low price, 80% off, which is a great price, and I think the name here says it all really. It's golf in small locations, but before you know it, you'll be in settings such as outer space. It's another one that's relaxed, but in my opinion, it does stumble in a couple of areas. That is, the putting line is a little tough to read, and then the music. It is chill as you would expect, but it's also just incredibly generic, and I rarely say this about music in a game, but it is quite boring. Check out my full review below. Narita Boy is a Metroidvania that for the most part impressed me, and you can see my review in the pinned comment. It's 80% off and matching the low price, and stylistically it is one of my favourites on the list. It is a pixel fight, but it's been washed in neon, which you know I'm personally a fan of. The story: we exist inside a popular video game that is being attacked and we must defend it. Think of us as almost, I guess, the antivirus, and along the way we're going to be learning more about the creator. It's an incredibly strange story, no question about it. But yeah, it's got one of my favourite weapons in any game just because of the name, the Techno Sword, and the combat and exploration overall is absolutely solid. My only complaint: there is no map, which is incredibly frustrating when you do start to get into the game, as there is quite a bit of backtracking packed in. Flynn, Son of Crimson then is a 2D action platformer where you play as title Finn and his mythical ally, and you're on a quest to save your homeland because there is a threat in this world, an evil. Now, historically, it's been kept at bay by this magical barrier, but now that has gone, and it's basically going to fall down to you to save the day. So here you're going to be mastering different moves, energy moves as well, and also collecting up these different relics. I love the visual style that they use here, the controls feel great, and the variety in the gameplay is something I really welcome. It's that combination of standard and magical elements that really works for me. Right now then, it is matching the low price with 50% off. Smoke and Sacrifice is a top-down survival game that offers a unique spin on the survival genre, and that is, it does away with permadeath and instead features RPG-style progression. It's still challenging, of course, but here it's all about navigating, trying situations, and of course crafting. What I love though is the story. It's incredibly dark, so basically we exist in this world where we worship the sun tree and we must make sacrifices. Now, our child was one of those sacrifices, and after a revelation we decide to embark on a journey to investigate. Great stuff, and it's here with 85% off, which you've got to know here, honestly, it's been a tiny bit cheaper in the past, maybe $1 cheaper, but that was nearly 2 years ago, so I'm more than happy to give it a recommendation today. Super Cyborg then is a great budget option for the run and gun fans out there. It was cheap to begin with, and I did review it on the channel, find that below, but I was a big fan. Now look, sure, the visuals, especially our Cyborg leads, they kind of look a little generic, admittedly, and I wouldn't argue with it. But the gunplay is solid, and it features some really fun boss moments as well. Not a lot else to add, honestly. It's a challenging shooter that supports 2 players locally, if that is your thing, and in my opinion, well worth this 72% off, and we've seen that price before in the States and Canada, but do know for everyone in the UK, EU and Australia, it's actually a new low price. Forager then is 65% off and matching the low, and I haven't spoken to this in a while. It's a play on the survival genre, so I think top-down exploration, crafting and farming, so basically build up resources and a base and then expand up the land. I just like how much is going on in here. There are skills to learn, puzzles to solve, dungeons to overcome, and it's all in the name of kind of raising that gold for expansion. I actually liked it so much I picked up the physical release, and I still return to it frequently. I'd still watch a few reviews first, as I said, it's incredibly deep, but this is a great price for a game that can keep you busy for a long time. Our winner of the week then is going to Neo Krieg, who highlighted Rustler. Congrats on the win. Drop me an email to claim your code, and everyone else, drop a comment down below for your chance in next week's video. So I'm finishing this week's video then with my pickup, something I rarely do, but you'll understand why here in a second. Now I have 2 games for you all, but as always, these are not recommendations, rather maybe you'll want to join me for the ride. So first up is In Sound Mind. Now this is 90% off, a new low price. Luke actually reviewed this over on SwitchCorner, and it's basically a first-person horror game where you play as a detective investigating mysterious circumstances. Now I'll link that video down below, but my understanding was it's a fun game, but the gunplay is a little weak. week. Now, I do think, transparently, this is a risky one on the Switch. I'm curious to see that performance, but it's so cheap, however, I'm willing to take a gamble on it. Then God Wars, the complete legend. It's 90% off, a new low price, and as of the video going live, you only have 1 week now to grab this game before it is gone forever. It is from NIS America, and from my understanding, there was a physical release, but it's probably impossible to find right now, and the reason this is going to be gone is because it is being delisted. I will be dropping a dedicated video to this either over the weekend or early next week, breaking kind of down what it's all about, so do watch out for that, but it seemed to get okay reviews, 6 and 7s from what I'm seeing, and at this price I want to add it into the library in case I ever have that urge to play it. And that is the video down. Will you be adding anything to the library? Let me know in the comments. With that then, a shout out to the patrons and the channel members who are going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. Then hit subscribe, join us here for reviews, deals, news and lists daily, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.